radio stations, including 106.3 The Core, also 107.1 KISS FM, WSGW AM and FM, and 94.5 The Moose, my home station. We're getting to that time of the year when maybe you need to haul some lumber. Maybe you need some mulch. Maybe you've got a four-wheeler that you need to get someplace. You know what you need? You need a really good trailer. And that's why today we're going to be talking to the good folks at B&B Trailers. Now, B&B Pickup Salvage and Hope is introducing a new trailer division, new trailer sales division. So why don't we meet the general manager, Eric Stevens? Let's bring in Eric. A little bit of difficulty there getting the video there. I'll tell you a little bit about B&B Trailer Sales. If you've not been there before, and they are fairly new, 215 East Baker Road, that's in Hope. And if you were to take US 10 in that general direction, you'd be heading north on M30 about 6 miles into Hope to get there. Eric, can you hear us okay? I see Eric out in the rain hiding under the umbrella there. How are you?
There we go.
We lost you there.
So we can't get the signs because our Wi-Fi is not stretching out. So we're just going to directly go straight to the trailers.
All right. Well, for anybody, just before you get to the trailers, the sign is right on Baker Road. Is that correct?
Right on M30.
Right on M30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So anybody who heads north off of US 10 up 30, about 6 miles, you should see the sign, no problem.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Lit up parking lot. Yep.
Well, I know everybody at some point needs a trailer. Some people need one every day. Some people need them just occasionally. And there's nothing worse than not having one when you need one, because there's just no second choice. It's nearly as good. So, Eric, why don't you take us out over near the trailers and tell us a little bit about these? These are Gator made. I'm not familiar with Gator made trailers, so maybe you could tell us a bit about them.
Yep. They're made in Somerset, Kentucky. They're an independently owned company. Everybody else in the trailer world's gone. Gator Made has not done that. They still make them by hand, powder coat them all in one warehouse, one shop. They do a very nice job. The old everybody used to use Dexter axles back in the day because they're the premium axle, the best on the market. And most of the other competitors, they have stopped using them because of cost. Where Gator still uses the Dexter axles, which are they're a little more expensive, but they're the best axle money can buy. So everything about them is they try to make everything better. Because everybody makes trailers, everybody sells trailers. So you got to stand yourself apart by going the quality way. So you can either go cheap or you can go quality. And they decided to go quality, and that's why we stand behind them as well.
Well, that's the thing about trailers too, is there's nothing worse than the moment when one fails. So yeah, the quality is the way to go.
When you're loading up your piece of equipment or your $30,000 side by side to take the family up north, you might want to think about what trailer you have pulling that machine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anybody who's ever been up and down 127 on a Saturday afternoon and saw somebody off on the side of the road, and you feel terrible for them, but
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is the cut above. As like they say, you can buy a cheaper trailer, but you won't buy a less expensive one, because the wear and the tear that you're going to get out of this one will outlast the cheaper one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you give us a range, like on sizes and styles and types and purposes?
Anywhere from a little, you can see this one, a little tiny utility trailer for the normal gardener, or hauling your lawnmower, that kind of stuff, or single, all the way up to great big gooseneck trailers, 40 foot, 35 plus 5 with a tip down. Pretty much any.
So basically, we're talking a range from somebody who just needs a little bit of help around the house on up to somebody who needs them for their, business, their construction business or farming business, whatever it may be.
Tractors, side by sides, everything. We have little pull behind, cute little dump trailers like this, all the way up to big behemoth dump trailers like this. And you notice the neck on these ones. This is the Aardvark system neck. And what's different about this is anybody who's ever dumped a dump trailer, they'll see their trailer flex and tip, and you never know if it's going to come back straight. Well, with this, it pulls so much nicer, and when you dump it, it doesn't have that flex in it. It's a lot more rigid. It's just a better design. A lot of engineering went into doing that.
Anybody who has, especially the first or second time you haul a trailer, you realize there's one or two things I don't know, and I don't want to find out the hard way.
Exactly.
So starting with quality is a good thing. Can you help?
That is correct.
Can you help first timers with some help and some advice?
Oh, absolutely, we can walk them through what basically when you're purchasing a trailer, whatever you are thinking you need to haul, you always got to add a little bit more to it, because no matter what, you're going to use it for something bigger or heavier as you're doing it. So you always add a little bit more to it. And then what you actually need, that's the key, what you plan on doing with the trailer. And like these goosenecks, the thing they have with these is, I don't know if you can see this, but most trailers, when you try to chain everything, you don't have a way to climb up it. They build in a step in them.
Nice.
Handle. They come with a fire extinguisher, and lighting up on the top, so you can load at night. And plus the lights also work as a tail light and a blinker as you're going. But as you're loading, you have a nice bright LED light to light up the deck so you can do it.
When those were first added to pickup trucks, I was like, why aren't these on everything? And I had not until now seen them on trailers. So that's a addition.
Absolutely. And as you go through this, every light is an LED in this. They're not an incandescent. They're not drawing a bunch of juice, and they're super bright.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For somebody who is buying a first trailer, what's the starting point? I'm sure you've sat down with people who thought they knew what they needed and weren't quite sure.
Right. Well, what you'd want to do is you'd want to figure out what you're looking to do, whether it be haul your lawnmower, go up to your property, or if you got a small tractor. A lot of people anymore have small tractors. And are you going to want one that's going to have ramps on it, or if you're going to want to do a hydraulic lift like this one here? You got to, essentially every customer is going to be different. Mm-hmm. And you have to figure out what you're actually going to do with it, and then figure out what kind of tonnage you're going to be hauling with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Most people will buy a utility trailer. You see them everywhere.
Sure.
And we have light utility trailers as well, but you're going to want to try to get one that is big enough that you're not under trailered.
Mm-hmm.
You can always be over trailered, but you don't ever want to be under trailered.
I mean, that's the thing about buying that first trailer. You probably bought it, well, I just got to haul the lawn tractor, or just got to haul the motorcycles or something like that. And then you discover, I have a trailer.
From your car hauler trailers, if you're going to be hauling equipment, you got a mud buggy you want to haul up, any of those, we got you covered.
That open surface on the top of the trailer is saying, what else can you put on me? So yeah, you better have a little extra there.
Any trailer that you're not seeing here now, you can always come down and sit down with us, and we can special order trailer per your needs as well, within reason. Usually there's a small time frame around it to have them build it, because like I say, they build them all one at a time, and they're just so you can get it any way you want, essentially.
Well, this is probably the time of year when many people are looking too. So if there is a need to go custom in some way, it's probably best to get in as soon as possible, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because this, like you say, this is the spring, and this is the time that people are going to be out shopping for different things. They're going to buy a brand new UTV, a side by side, and like I say, when you when you're hauling that expensive side by side, you might want to have a trailer underneath it instead of the old car trailer that you borrowed from your buddy, you might think about one that'll actually carry the load and get you back. You
So
know,
go over to your buddy's house, look around the garage. If he's not taking care of everything over there, that's not the trailer you.
absolutely, absolutely. You got you got to use your head with it when you're going down the road, or you got your family all upset with you, and you just ruined your weekend.
Yeah, no, that's not the way to go at all.
No,
Um, for somebody who maybe isn't close by right off the bat, but they've got some questions, is best to call or best to
oh,
email questions? What
9,
should people do?
8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Hmm.
896893966, and I'll go through with what you're actually looking for and what you need, and I can see if I can find the right application for you. And
Perfect.
for Stacy's good at it too, so we can figure out exactly what you need and we can make it happen.
Excellent. Now, can you help people out with their end of it too? Do
Absolutely.
they have the proper hitch, etc.?
We have a couple of finance companies that we can help you with, to get you in the right road, depending on your situation. Everybody's different nowadays, but
Sure.
we do try to help out anybody we can on it.
Okay.
Yep.
On the the purchaser's vehicle side, do you do anything to make sure that they are properly set up to tow that trailer?
Yeah, make sure that whatever they are decided to pull with,
Mm-hmm.
whatever trailer it is, that if the vehicle is not equipped to pull something like that, we'll help you out and decide what your limitations are for your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't want to pull a 14-foot dump trailer with a tiny little Jeep. It just won't work.
I mean, there's a lot of folks. If you're a farmer, construction, you know exactly what every piece of equipment you own weighs, dry, wet, etc. But if you're, I just picked up this lawn tractor, you probably have no idea, what it weighs, and a little advice.
What weight you're going to need, what size axle, what size of trailer you're going to need. Absolutely.
Very good. Very good. What was it about Gator-Made trailers that caught your eye first? Did you have experience with others?
At Kenny, the owner, he's a farmer born and bred. So he's been doing this, and he's been going down to the farm show down in Kentucky for years. And you look at different trailers and stuff, because he uses them every day, a different type of trailer. And it's always struck his eye how solid these ones were and well built, and never figured out where they were actually coming from. So then he did the legwork and said, I think I want to do this. So we went down, him and I, we went down to Kentucky, went and toured the plant. And in this business, we you go by what you can see and what actually happens. And when you go into that plant down there and you see all the people working and the quality that they instill in it, it gives you that warm fuzzy feeling about the product, and they do a very nice job. And he said, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So that's why we went this way, being a farm boy from birth. That's made him decide he got to have a good trailer.
Is there a warranty, a guarantee of any sort that comes with the trailers, or what should people expect?
Your axles come with a warranty on them. Yep. We won't leave you hanging in the out in the rain, even though we're in the rain today. This is another thing that I want to show you. On these, when you go to these expanded aluminum, expanded steel gates, they call it Gator Lift. I don't know if you can see that, Jim.
A little bit, yeah, down the corner there.
Yep. Spring assist, and it's mounted right on the trail. I sold one to a older gentleman, a month ago, and he had other trailers, and he was interested in one of these. He saw them at the farm show too, and he came up to buy it from us. And when he picked up that lift at first, he was just unbelievable. He said, I can do it with one hand. The other one, I almost had to use a fork truck to pick up the gate.
Yeah.
That way anybody can fold the gate back up and they lock in nice and secure. You know, it's they're all built for handiness.
That's real important. I know most of us have probably at one point or another thought, well, we only need a trailer to move this weekend, and then we'll never need a trailer again. And they discovered, oh, those things are really heavy to lift.
You know, it's heavy, they're awkward. You know, and then you leave them out in the rain a couple of seasons, and they're terrible. They're starting to rust.
Mhm.
You know, these ones are all powder coated. They're not painted. They're powder coated. They have
Mm.
a kiln that they take them through, and you know, and it's got the big channel frames in them, and it's all powder coated, so it doesn't rust like the old trailers do.
Well, and that's another positive side to that is that, you think, well, maybe I'll have this thing, I'll need it for, X number of years. And,
Right.
maybe you need it for a couple of years, then you need something bigger. If it's in that good a shape, you're going to be able to sell it or trade
Oh,
it in. I'm not sure how you'll handle that, but yeah.
exactly. And like our big dump here, you know, we have a couple of them in stock. They come with ramps also, so that way the guy that's got the small little utility tractor
Mhm.
or the skid steer and he's loading stuff up, you can load your skid steer in here and still haul your stuff.
Mhm.
You know, it's different than most dump trailers. You don't end up doing that. You know, so you don't have to take two people to do the same job.
There you go. Yeah, anything that removes part of the labor part of it is all good by me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, for somebody who was buying their first trailer, are you gonna kind of hook it up in the parking lot there and maybe let them practice a little bit? Because uh,
Yep, we will. We'll go through all the lighting with you. Actually, on one of them that we did this year already, the gentleman found out that he didn't have. It came with factory equipped trailer brake or trailer blinkers and brakes, and it didn't work. So with our technician that we have here, we were able to fix that for him real quick and get him back on the road. Yep. Yeah, we
because I'm
try to
sure.
make everything as nice as possible.
Mhm.
Painless.
We like to think that we're all perfect behind the wheel, but almost every one of us has some sort of camper, boat, trailer story of where, oh,
Absolutely.
we just missed something there.
Absolutely. And if any problems arise, you know, we'll always be willing to try to help you out any way we can. You know, we're in it for the long haul. We're not a fly by night.
Obviously, with the powder coating, longevity is there with the heavy duty axles. Heavy duty, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
longevity there is good. Any other safety features or things we should be aware of?
Well, basically, you know, we have they all have brakes. You know, brakes on the bigger trailers.
Mhm.
We also have uh, uh, electric over hydraulic brakes on the bigger trailers. You know, which are a lot smoother. Disc brakes. Fire extinguishers come with them. Spare tires. You know, safety chains. Basically, they come equipped, ready to hit the road. You know.
Very good. Very good. Eric Stevens
Uh,
is the gentleman we're speaking with right now from B&B Trailer Sales. It's a new division of B&B Pickup Salvage. And how long have you been open now? Since the trailer store started?
we trailer sales essentially it's been a progress since December of this year,
Okay.
and moving forward with it, and we're finally at that point where we're open to the public. You know,
Excellent.
and when we first started, it was a few people heard that we were going to do it, so we already had people come in and place their orders, and we got those pretty quick. You know, and then we just started stocking.
Well, that tells me the
You
reputation
know,
of the Gator
and
trailers is
like the
already out there. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, yeah. They're essentially the best in the industry. You know,
Nice.
and it's I may be partial, but I've looked at a lot of trailers over my years. You know, I'm no young guy either, and it's the best the best on the industry right now, and the
Outstanding.
best for the standard public. You know,
Mhm.
plus equipment haulers. You know, and construction workers because we can cover any needs that you need.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Eric, anything we're missing? That sounds pretty complete. That's what is the smallest? I know we've looked at some of the big ones.
The smallest we'll go is we can do a 8x6 and a 10
Okay.
by utility, all the way up to a 40 plus 35 plus 5 with a tilt tail gooseneck. You know, it pretty much goes from really big to really small.
So whatever you're pulling with, whether it's SUV, fifth wheel, hitch, whatever, you got it all covered here.
Got it. Yep. And we can help you out with what your capabilities are to figure out if you can pull that trailer with that vehicle. You know, I don't want anybody to leave with a trailer that weighs a lot more than what their car is capable of.
Yeah, well, and not just because you're messing with the car, that's a safety issue.
Absolutely.
Safety
Absolutely.
first. Absolutely. All right. Gator Made Trailers at B&B Trailer Sales, and Eric Stevens, General Manager, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right. So you will likely be talking to Eric at some point. If you're in the market for a trailer, we have the phone number and the scrolling across the bottom of the screen, along with the location again for anybody who's kind of also doing something else at the same time. Easiest way to find you.
Yep. And anytime it'll either be me, Stacy. You know, we'll be able to take care of you either way.
Will Stacy also hold the umbrella if someone comes up to see a trailer?
She will.
Sure will.
She goes above and beyond every day.
All right. See, that's service. You won't find that just anywhere. I'll tell you what. Well, Eric, anything we've missed?
No, I think you did a pretty good job. We anytime you want to stop by and take a look at it, it is open. We have an entranceway you can walk in. It's lit up. You can take a peek at and if you have any questions, always feel free to give us a call. Again, 989-689-3966, and we'll always try to help you any way we can.
All right. If you're going to be hauling something and you're hauling something that you don't want to lose or damage or whatever, then the trailer's got to be right. And so Gator may well be the answer for you, and Eric is the guy to come see.
Yep. And before you head out with your side-by-side up north this Memorial Day weekend, give us a call. It might be worth your while.
I'd be happy to be behind you on the highway. I don't want to see you on the side. So
absolutely.
Eric, very good. You've explained this very well, and I do appreciate that.
I appreciate
it's something most people don't think about, but if you're going to trailer, you got to trailer right, or you're going to have trouble.
That's right. Exactly.
It's I'd rather see it than be part of it, but if I had the option, I'd rather not even see it. So, all right, B&B Trailer Sales, Gator Made Trailers, look outstanding.
Absolutely.
I missed the last thing you